This is our Tesla Model 3 Performance, and we just got full self-driving installed for the months for free, courtesy of Elon. If you've heard anything about Teslas, then you've probably heard of Tesla's full self-driving capabilities. Now, full self-driving can either be purchased for $12,000 as a complete package, or you can do a subscription for $200 per month. And at that price tag, it better be pretty damn good to justify it. So we decided to put it to the test. Our first test of full self-driving is to be here for Dallas and rush hour traffic. And truthfully, there's no better test because Dallas drivers are rated one of the worst drivers in the country for a reason. Let's see how full self-driving holds up. So this is the ideal time to activate autopilot right behind another Tesla. We can sync up. We can be autopilot bros. Now it's activated. Let it do the work. It's 6:11 on a Tuesday in Dallas, and this is pretty typical traffic, except it's moving. Typically, it's just at a standstill. And we're only doing 45, and the speed limit is technically 70. It is a little bit more jerky, and there is a setting. I believe you have 3 different modes, and one of them being assertive, and the other one kind of being more laid back. I think it's actually called chill for the autopilot. So it lets you dictate how hard it brakes and how much gaps it leaves in front of the car in front of you. Now right there, it automatically did the lane change for me because it noticed, okay, there's people merging, and there's available space for me to go. Another thing I kind of don't like is the following distance. Even though I have the following distance kind of set pretty minimal, I can actually, this is actually where you can do the autopilot settings to do it chill, average, or assertive. Now I have it set on assertive, so it is going to brake a little later, and it is going to leave less gap between another car, allowing it to get in. See, something like that, I know, it's kind of jarring. I feel like it should know that there's already people slowing down. And that's one thing we've noticed in autopilot in traffic is that it's very jerky and it's kind of late to respond. Now maybe that's a setting issue, so let's go ahead and change it over to, now let's change it over to average. It was on assert. Now driving in Dallas traffic, this is one of the things you shouldn't do, is leave too much gap between you and the car in front of you, because then everyone will take advantage of that and start running into your lane. And it's really frustrating because then you're just never going to get to your destination fast. All right, so let's see. Now that it's on average, we see people actively braking in front of us, and the car's now starting to anticipate it. Well, that wasn't that bad.
That was good.
Yeah, that was actually a lot better. Now, maybe a small gripe that it brakes too late, or it kind of freaks me out, and maybe that's part of me kind of getting used to it, but this constant back and forth motion, it'll honestly make you sick after a while. So maybe let's try chill. Now the annoying part about this is that this is nice and chill, and I want to do other things. I want to pick up my phone and start looking down, and then you'll notice that I'll get a little warning notification here in a second. There it is. Pay attention to the road. All right. Basically what it's doing is it's using this camera right here to do an eye tracking motion, and it pretty much sees where your eyes are, and if it's looking down or if it's looking away, it'll prompt you. I've tried it a couple of times. I thought maybe if I can just hold my phone up to here. No, it wants to see no distractions, and I don't know how it tells if there's a phone in my hand, but it does. So driving in bumper-to-bumper highway traffic, yeah, this is actually pretty decent. This is actually kind of nice. If I had a really long commute that took me maybe 30, 45 minutes, and the last thing I want to do is sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic, this definitely takes away from it. It does suck that I have to watch the traffic, but at least I don't have to do as much. The next test for the full self-driving of this Tesla is going to be the full self-parking. So how does it fare up in different levels of parking? Let's find out. Now to test our first level of parking, we're going to go ahead and park at a bank parking lot, because nothing is as dead as a bank parking lot than a bank parking lot on a Saturday. So let's try one of these spaces right here. Oh, it's seeing a bunch of parking lines. Let's stop it, reverse it, break it down, now flip it and reverse it. You Sharpie, flip it, yep. All right, look at that. Found the parking space. It's completely empty.
Still gonna have to reverse.
And it's taking its time. We got someone. Oh, sorry. The car's doing it. I don't. It's. Sorry. It's trying. Thank you. Thank you. You can go ahead. Sorry. I think she just flicked me off. Well, that was embarrassing, but the car parked itself. So that's something interesting to note. It didn't actually stop. It saw somebody coming forward. It obviously recognized that there was a car coming this way, and the car was like, you know what? I'm doing something. You can wait. I wonder if it was a Tesla if it would have stopped. Probably not. Now to test the second level of parking, we're going to go to a parking center. It's a little more busy. Not jam-packed, but definitely not hustle and bustle. All right, let it do its thing. It's reversing. Oh, is it going to make it in one try? It's kind of tight on this side. No. All right, look at that. Will it recognize the non-painted curb? Well, that wasn't so bad. A little tight on this side. It's directly in the middle of these parking spots, these parking lines, but that one has way more space than this side. So I guess it's good until somebody door dings the heck out of you. I don't know. So the car is in the middle of the space. It's perfectly in between the parking lines, but we're not perfectly in between the two cars on either side. So if someone were to park really bad next to you, I don't think the car is going to make up for it. I think it's just going to leave you without a lot of space to get out. And to test our third and final level of parking, we're going to do it at the Costco Wholesale Center, baby, because there's nothing busier than a Costco on the weekend. Okay, I see a space. I want that space right there. Okay, so I'm going to pass by it. I'm going to put my blinker on. Should be scanning the space. I don't see anything that says park button, so I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, there we go. Put it in reverse. Hit start. I'm letting go. Another Tesla's passing by us without a care in the world. This isn't looking good. Meanwhile, the person that's in that car is now walking to his car. I feel like I'm a grandma. I'm going. Stop rushing me. All right, now I got to say something. I'm thoroughly impressed. We are almost perfectly in between the lines on either side. But oh my goodness, there is no sense of urgency for this thing to get a parking space. Even that lady dirty looked at me and she's like, what took you so long? I'm trying, lady. All right, how about this one over here? This is a pretty good parking spot, right?
I think that this is a little too much on easy mode.
No, look, it's perfect. All right, so we're going to pass by it. Looks good. We're going to stop. Oh, it knows. We're going to park right there. Put it in reverse. Hit the start button and let it do its thing. Eventually. And it's going to turn this into a 3-point turn. So automatically shifts to drive for us now. I don't have a stopwatch, but I feel embarrassed. This is taking a really long time. It seems like it's scared to park. It seems like it's like a student driver.
It got parking lessons from me.
It's got parking anxiety. All right. And done. I feel like I could have done that in half the time and I'd already be inside ordering a hot dog. Now I'm impressed with the accuracy, but the speed at which it took to do this took way too long. I'm going to give this a solid 6 out of 10. It did the parking job, just took forever. So final thoughts on the self-parking. It actually did a pretty good job. I'm not really that impressed with the speed at which it did it, but for all intents and purposes, it did actually a really good job parking in the space and just doing it properly. And I feel like it did it in 3-point turn, where maybe if I were an old rickety old lady who couldn't figure it out in 2 seconds and I would have done a bad job, sure. So if you're a good parker and you're comfortable parking in any scenario, go ahead, park it yourself, because you're going to be here all day. But if you're not that confident or you're just not really that good about getting it in the first try, let the Tesla do it for you.
So next up is Summon. Now Aubrey's actually pretty concerned about if Summon actually works and can it handle a parking lot. So we're going to try it in a relatively empty part of the Costco parking lot, all the way in the back. So over there's the Tesla, and I've got the app. Let's summon it. Click and hold. Come to me, Tesla. Come to Butthead. I feel like I'm letting a kid drive. Oh, he's doing so good. Come on, boy. Over here. Come on. Come on. You're doing a good job. I'm very proud of you. And that's as far as it gets. That's not bad.
All right, so let's be real. How practical is using summon in the back of a Costco parking lot? Not very. So let's try it out in a more useful scenario like a mall. So let's say you got done shopping at your favorite Macy's, and boy howdy, you shopped until you're about to drop. And the last thing you want to do is go all the way over to your Tesla. Let's just summon it. So we're going to go ahead and set my little destination over yonder and go to Target. We parked right over there, so, and there's a car coming. Oh, I see it moving. Waiting for path to clear. Still waiting for path to clear. So that's another thing, is what if it just can't do it? Does it just say, see you later? Oh, there it goes. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. The pressure's on. We got a super speeder hauling ass.
Oh my god.
I mean, it didn't get into a wreck, so that's pretty good. Come on, Tesla. You're almost there. Oh, that's where it wants to do it. Sorry. And away we go. That was impressive from a standpoint that somebody was hauling butt around the corner. The Tesla anticipated it and stopped. And then decided to take it upon itself to keep going. Okay, so final thoughts on Summon. It did a great job. It did exactly what I wanted to do, and it didn't get into a wreck. And it probably made some lady really mad, but it was even funnier because the Tesla decided, well, you were kind of coming in hot, so I'm gonna go anyways. And then decided to stop way too prematurely, and somebody was right behind it. And that was kind of embarrassing. But other than that, good job, Tesla. So when it comes to the actual usefulness of Summon, I can see where, yeah, maybe it is very gimmicky. Would I actually use it in a busy parking lot? Not really. I'd be kind of concerned. Or maybe my app doesn't, work as fast, or I have low connectivity. I could see a lot of areas where it would not work, and then your car's just stranded. Now, Aubrey and I did test it at varying distances, and it seems that it doesn't get that comfortable if it's really far out in a parking lot, and it will not let you use it. So using it at a stadium after a concert, probably not the best place to do it, but maybe doing it in a small parking lot where you just don't feel like walking all the way through there, yeah, it's hot in Texas. I could see that being pretty useful. Or even if you have kids, you have a stroller, or you have a loading area and you have a lot of groceries you don't want to carry all the way over there, sure.
Now that we put it to the test, honestly, let me give you my thoughts. I actually like a lot of the stuff. The ability to get in the vehicle, click the paddle down, and it takes you to your destination is really unique, and something about that is really nice. Especially if you had a hard day at the gym, like I always do, it really is a nice feature to have. I'm not the best driver. Occasionally, I accidentally run a red light. Accidentally. And things happen like that. But the full self-driving definitely does help you correct a lot of those mistakes and pretty much eliminates a lot of them because it's doing majority of the driving for you. If I had to break it down to a specific number, I'd say it's pretty much doing 90% of the driving and 10% you actually still have to do. Or really just sit there like a tutor that was over my shoulder watching me goof around at my desk as a kid. Now, is it worth $200 a month? When we first initially started this video, it was $200 a month. Then Tesla lowered the price drastically down to $99 a month. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. $99 a month, this thing actually driving itself is a really cool feature, and I think the ability to just go on a road trip, set it and forget it, and really just have to sit back, relax, listen to some Taylor Swift, it's a pretty good option for $99. Would I pay $12,000 for full self-driving when I initially purchased the vehicle? Absolutely not. Would I pay $200 a month? Also, absolutely not. That is an absurd price. At $99, it makes it a luxury, not really a necessity, but it's a luxury I'm willing to shell out that extra cash for. With that being said, this all doesn't matter because Aubrey doesn't like it, and that means we're not going to buy it because it's her car. And whenever we go somewhere, I'm typically driving, which means I'm her full self-driving unit. Overall, really impressed with full self-driving, especially on the Model 3. I think that this is definitely worth the $99 price tag, even if this thing takes a day and a half and a 15-point turn to park itself. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next episode.